I've been riding with my seat back, cool, and I'm just trying to kick.
Greetings and welcome to another episode of Time Out Talk with me, JO2. This is episode Dos Equis. I need a sponsor. Modelo didn't even get me last season, so fuck y'all. But anyways, thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed the first episode of season 2, even though we didn't get through season 1. I don't care. We already passed that. We went over that in the last episode. But this season, I want to talk about a lot of good stuff. I got a lot of good stuff lined up. And today, what we're going to talk about today is something that I wanted to talk about a while ago, but I wasn't actively doing this show, so I didn't get a chance to. But it had me thinking, and I still think about it daily. So, gay. Does that make you uncomfortable when I say the word? Who's uncomfortable when I say gay? Some people get uncomfortable just from saying hearing the word gay. Some people get more uncomfortable when they have to say the word gay. So D Wade, with his son, who's not gay actually, who is trans, but some people don't even know the difference. It's crazy, huh? But it had me thinking, like, how would I handle it if my son was trans, if my son was gay, if my son was bisexual? I personally think I would be a good parent to a child that happened to be in the LGBTQZ, whatever it was, the extra letters. If I had a child in that community that fell into one of those categories, I think I would be a good parent to one of those children. If my child was one of those children, because I'm a pretty accepting person for the most part. I don't stand for bullshit, but that's about it. And bullshit, who stands for bullshit? But no, with the whole situation with D Wade, I really didn't appreciate how people attacked him and how they attacked his son or his daughter or whatever they prefer to be called. I haven't looked too much into the situation, so honestly, I really don't know. I see a lot of negativity around it, and I kind of just stay away from it because I don't want to expose myself to that and fuck up my whole aura with all that negative energy that people are spewing out in regards to the situation. So I never even looked fully into it. I just saw that there was a situation, so I can't really speak too much on that. But that's kind of what led me into talking about this subject here. So how would y'all handle that? Like, I really want to know if y'all want to have a discussion in the comment section about how you would handle it if your child was gay. Like, is it something that you would try to stop? Like, would you pray the gay away, like they say? Oh, look at me rhyming Dr. Seuss up in this bitch. But seriously, I don't know. Like, it had me thinking about, I guess I kind of thought about this before I came here and sat down, and as I wanted to talk about, having gay children and how you would handle it. And I mean, that's still kind of the topic, but it's more so what it's turned into for me is just how people raise their children in general. Because in my mind, to my understanding, to what I've seen and experienced and heard from my friends and acquaintances that have experienced and are gay, lesbian, trans, or whatever, it's not like people are making this choice. It's not like they're this way because they was raised this way. Sometimes I've actually heard, on occasions where some people have told me, like, yeah, it was an experience that kind of turned me into what I am. But I think for the most part, I always hear that, no, I was born this way. This is how it is. It wasn't a choice. I didn't decide to make my life harder by, falling into one of these categories that are highly condemned. I don't think people make it one deciding to wake up and, that'd be like me waking up and deciding, yeah, I want to be black. Oh, that was terrible. I love being black. But, it's like, it does make life harder being black. I love being black, but I can't say it's been an easy life being a black man, especially a black man. But yeah, my point is people not waking up and deciding, like, yeah, I want to be gay. I want a hard life. I want everything I do to be that much harder for me. I want to go around. I want to have to hide who I am for most of my life from most of the people because they wouldn't accept me. I don't think that's the decision that people are making. And as I've been told, it's not a decision. It is just the way you are. It's what you are. It's what you were born as in a lot of cases. But so I'm off topic a little bit. But yeah, what I wanted to talk about was how people are raising their kids, and I don't want to tell anybody how to raise their kids. So I'm just going to tell you how I like to try to raise my kids, and I'm not always successful in it because things happen. But so I read, let me start from the beginning. I read this book called Parent Effectiveness Training, and I'm not like advertising or telling you to go read it, although I think everybody should take a read and kind of see it. But it's called Parent Effectiveness Training. I forget who it's by, but it kind of talks about the effects that different parenting styles have on kids. And it gives you another way to parent your kid. Like the way I was raised, and most of the people that are probably going to watch this were raised, is you raised by the stick. I mean, you raised by the bat, you raised by the broom hammer, you raised by the fucking broom handle, you raised by the fucking extension cord, by the stanchion cord, you raised by the stanchion cord, you raised by the belt, you raised by the switch, you raised by the back of the hand. is what I'm trying to say. You do something wrong and you get punished for it. And it's usually punishment in a physical form. It's not a go stand in the corner, go sit and time out, go to your room and think about what you did type punishment. Not, where I'm from, it was like, but it's not good for people. I was reading a book and it was talking about, how this stuff affects the psyche of a child. And, beating your children when they do something wrong is going to cause complexes. It's going to cause problems. And why the fuck wouldn't it? And the book, it tells you, I'm talking about beating it. It goes into yelling at your kids. Don't yell at them. It talks about, you shouldn't show any type of disapproval or disappointment in their actions and their choices and their decisions. Because let me give an example. Say your son, I don't want to say your son is gay, but say your son go breaks a window. That's kind of extreme. But say your son go breaks a window because that's what he likes to do. He likes to break windows. And it's not like a window in somebody's house. It's like a window sitting like on a curb or some shit. I don't know. But just to make it a lot less complicated, there's a window sitting on a curb, magical window. Your son, he go breaks it. And you like, oh, I don't like that. I don't want you to do that. Bam, beat the shit out of you. Next time your son see a window, he breaks it again. You like, oh shit, I don't like that. Let me beat the shit out of you so you remember that I don't like that, or whatever the fuck your reason is for beating your kids. And next time your son see a window, he's like, oh, well, my dad or my mom probably gonna beat the shit out of me if I break this window, if they find out. So if they're gonna find out, I'm not gonna do it. If they're not gonna find out, I'm still gonna break the shit out of this window. You're not changing, that much. And if the child does decide, oh, I'm not gonna break this window because then I'll get beat. And then they grow up and you lose that power to beat them without them feeling some type of strong way about it or raising their hand to you. Did you really stop that action? Not really. Then now that they feel like you've lost that power to beat them, which it's gonna happen eventually. You're not beating grown ass adults. I don't care who you are, unless you fucking Mike Tyson, you probably can still beat your son up. But son, daughter, whatever it is, like those physical punitive actions, they only go so far, and I think they do a lot more damage than they do help. Like when you're not around, who's going to make that decision for your child? That's why, like I said, the Parent Effectiveness Training book that I read, it kind of it talks about how you should, how you could or should guide your children. Let them explain to them the things that they do. Sit down and talk to them and let them know how it makes you feel. So you don't have to beat them. And that way they think whenever they do something wrong, whenever they're not adequate enough for you, that's a cause for a beating. Sit down and explain to them, hey, this is how this makes me feel and why. I feel like this and this is why I feel that way. And give them the opportunity to care about your feelings and make the decision to not do something unfavorable to you because they care about your feelings. That way, when they go out into the world, maybe they'll decide, oh, I'm going to continue not to do that because I care about something, not because I'm going to get beat by my mom. Well, my mom can't beat me no more, so now I'm going to do it. It's just a lot of little things like that. And like I said, I try to stay on top of my kids with it and not, show my anger and aggression and stuff like that whenever they do stuff that I can't say I don't approve of, but I definitely have preferences and approvals. I'm human, If there's something I don't approve of, I try not to let them see it or understand it in a way that I'm not approving of them, but I try to let them know why I feel a certain way about an action that they've done. Or even, I don't even put the blame on them. Like, hey, this is why I feel a certain way about this kind of stuff happening because this, I feel this way because this. And that gives them the opportunity to care about you just as you should care about their feelings. And if you can't think of a good reason why you don't like it besides just because or because I said so, then leave it alone. Let them do whatever the fuck they doing. Obviously, if you don't have a good reason for them not doing it besides you don't like it, then you're wrong. Let me just say it in your face. In your face, you're wrong. You can't, you're trying to control your kids. I don't think kids should be controlled. I think you raise better, more independent kids that make better decisions if you give them the opportunity to make those decisions, to understand things, give them the opportunity to care about other people's feelings while they're younger and not just making them face, this abusive or punishment for doing something. I feel like if you raise a child right, you can make that punishment will be internal. When they do something wrong and they know they hurt somebody's feelings, it should hurt them inside. It shouldn't be a ass whooping with a stanchion cord just to get your point across. Because have you really gotten your point across? No. What point have you got across? That when they do something wrong, it angers you. When you're angered, you hit. What have you taught them? Anger, hit. When they're angry, hit somebody. And then they grow up and they have kids and they like, oh, same, angry, hit. And then, so interestingly enough, I read some other shit about how like the way that African Americans beat their children is like some like crazy shit that trickled down from like slavery beatings. And I was thinking like, damn, an extension cord, you can beat with a extension cord? That's just like a fucking whip. If not, it's a fucking whip. You can beat with a whip. Like that shit, that's terrible. Using all these slave tortures on your children. A belt, a hand, any type of hitting, I don't think it's necessary. And I used to be a firm believer in whoop that kid ass. Let me tell you, I don't like people kids. I don't like people kids. I've never thought I'd have kids because even as a kid, I didn't like kids. I love my kids though. And I like them too. They're pretty cool people most of the time. Sometimes they assholes, but I try to get them to understand like, hey, you're hurting my feelings. Like I'm over here, cleaning this place up. And then when you come and disrespect it, I feel disrespected. That hurts my feelings when you do that. And give them the opportunity to not be little assholes dirtying stuff up right after I clean it, So, you can be real with your kids. I try to treat my kids as well, just like they're adults, like they're humans. We walk around and we tell our kids, treat others how you want to be treated. But then don't treat them how we want to be treated. If you color on a wall, even though you're not supposed to, do you want somebody in your fucking face saying, why'd you do this? You stupid asshole. Go get the belt. No, nobody want that. Nobody want anybody screaming at them, making them feel belittled. Like, why would you belittle somebody like that? It's no fucking bueno. If you want your kids are going to imitate what you do. So if that's how you treat them, and that's how they're going to treat other people, that's how they're going to treat their kids. So yeah, I try to treat my kids how I want to be treated. So if there's something going on, I try to. I'm not saying I'm a perfect parent and I do everything right. I still fuck up sometimes, and when I get pushed to the peak, sometimes I yell and I'm like, ah. But then I apologize because I'm not perfect. And it's important that our kids know that and understand that we know that we're not perfect. Don't let your kids walking around think that you're perfect, first of all, and don't let them walk around thinking that you think you're perfect and you're always right. Have the courage to tell your kids, I'm sorry, I messed up, I'm not perfect. I was wrong, I should not have yelled at you, I should not have whooped you, I did it out of anger. It is not right, it's not okay. It's like I said, your kid's gonna imitate what you do, and you building up on that honesty, or you can tell them how you feel, then they can tell you how they feel. Did I say that shit right? You know what I mean, though. And then, to another point, we can't be so dismissive of how they feel. Like if your child tells you, hey, I feel a certain way, I don't like this, I'm really not feeling it. If they get emotional or whatever, and boy or girl, especially with our boys, because that's where we're a lot more dismissive. Hey, I feel this way. Oh, shut up. Get out of my face. I don't want to hear it. That's not how you'd want to be treated if you got emotional and expressed your feelings to somebody. Like I said, especially with our little boys. I mean, I talked about it in last season, how we raise our boys and our girls different. And it's not like different because they're different people. It's different because they're a boy and because they're a girl, we treat them like a boy and we treat them like a girl instead of just treating them like they're all human beings. And like I said, I don't think you can treat everybody the same, and because they're not. Whether they're a boy or a girl, you have two boys and one's more sensitive, one's less sensitive. One needs the nurturing and the touch and the care and the hugs, and the other one needs pistols and rocks and shit because he's a little more tough and doesn't really care. I mean, people are different, and I think you should treat them different based on who they are and how they want to be treated, and not based on this is a boy, this is a girl. That's a tangent a little bit. I mean, it's all about raising kids though. And I mean, it's, like I said, it all ties back to the whole where I started this at, which is gay son. You know, if your son or your daughter, your child tells you that they are a certain way, they feel a certain way, take that, respect it. Don't dismiss it, because that's how problems are bred, and not like problems between, maybe a problem between you two, but definitely a problem within that individual when they feel like they don't matter, when they feel like their opinions don't matter, their feelings don't matter. My kids are they emotional. Sometimes it gets me because I wasn't raised that way, and I gotta understand that I can't just raise them away just because I was raised that way and I didn't like how I was raised. So, but yeah, sometimes they get like really emotional, and I'm like, oh my God, all right, why do you feel this way? But I try, I don't do it like that. But then inside, that's what it'd be like, ugh. I try to be attentive and like, hey, like, what's going on? Why are you doing this? Okay, well, why do you feel like that's necessary? Okay, well, now that you've explained to me, is this what I'm understanding? Am I understanding that you're doing this because of this? Okay, well, this is how I feel, and this is how it affects me. And this affects other people in the house too, so you should know that and go talk to them and see how your actions are affecting them as well. And just stuff like that. I mean, like I said, parent effectiveness training is what the book is called. I highly recommend it to anybody that want to break that cycle in their family of being raised a certain way. Like, just because you was raised a way and you turned out what you feel like is okay doesn't mean you don't have all types of issues and shit that, could have not happened if you were raised a different way. I mean, I feel like it's just right to let kids know from an early age that they are worthy, that they deserve to be treated like humans. Don't let your daughters and sons grow up thinking that you're not human, you don't deserve to be treated like a human. I mean, that's not just stuff that sticks with you in childhood. When you instill that in them in childhood, that's something that could grow and expand as they become older, or make them resentful of you or resentful of your relationship. How do you have a relationship with somebody that you grew up with them beating you? I feel like, I don't know. In my personal opinion, I don't want my children to think back and be like, yeah, my dad gave me some major ass whoopings. I mean, like I said, even for me, I can think of some ass whoopings I got that I deserved, and I'm like, yeah, I feel like I deserve, and that might just be, the damage of me thinking that I deserved a beating because that's what was given out, and I did something wrong, so I deserved a beating. But maybe I didn't. I don't know. I think if somebody would have just sat me down, I'm a pretty smart fucking dude. I've always been a pretty smart fucking dude. I think if somebody would have just sat me down and explained to me why I wasn't supposed to do this, why I couldn't do this, how it affected them, how it hurt other people, how it hurt them, why they felt a certain way, I think I would have been okay to stop said behavior or stop said action and not done it again. I usually didn't do stupid stuff twice anyway. I do stupid thing once and then I'm on to the next stupid thing. That was me as a kid, but that's kind of me now. But anyways, that's really the gist of the episode. I mean, just look at how you're raising your kids and think about whether you'd want someone treating you like that as a kid and now. If you were doing things to your kids that you wouldn't want someone doing to you now, in my opinion, you're wrong. And you can say, well, this is how it's always been done. This is how I raise my kids. Don't tell me how to raise my kids. And you're right about that, because I'm definitely not trying to tell you how to raise your kids. But like I said, in my opinion, it's wrong. That's wrong if you're treating somebody in a way that you wouldn't want to be treated in. Because that's the golden rule, right? We walk around, we teach it, we say it, and then we don't follow it though. We just like to say it and tell it to other people. Do as I say, not as I do. It's wild. It's wild. So yeah, just sit down and take a look at how you're raising your kids and give it a good time out. Time to fuck out and think about how you want to do better, how you want to be better and treat your kids better than you were treated, how you want to raise them better than you were raised. And then take it a step further and how you want to be even better than that. That's my goal. That's my show. That's my time. This is Time I'll Talk with me, JLT. Please, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. But if you give it a thumbs down, I'd really appreciate it if you would drop in the comment section why you didn't like it. I'd appreciate it if you would tell me in the comment section how you're raising your kids and why you're raising them that way. If you disagree with anything I've said, please let it be known in the comment section. I'm happy to discuss it. I'm not like a belligerent person. I'm not gonna go crazy and F you and all that type of shit. Like I'm not an internet thug. I don't do that. If you want to meet up and fight about it, I'm not gonna do that either. Back in the day, I would have been like, hey, well, we can meet up, we can box it out. But no, it's just not that serious. I mean, it's serious for me, but if you believe your kids need beatings and I don't, then that's your prerogative to believe what you want to believe. I'm just trying to make somebody think differently. Thank you for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe. If you like a certain part, let me know. Let me know what I can do better. If you want to hear me talk about something different, let me know what you want to hear me talk about. If you want to be a guest on the show, please email me at my Gmail. I think is my Gmail. Yeah, please email me or drop a comment and let me know, and drop me your email, and I can reach out to you and see if we can get you as a guest on the show or whatever. But until next time, this is Time Out Talks.
I've been riding with my seat back, cool, and I'm just trying to kick my feet back. Oh, and all that talking, you can keep that. I make my girl hit the road for giving feedback, and my wallet looking compact. Oh, and my diet say I'm too fat. So, and I ain't trying to get that girl back. No, I just wanna lay around and drink a 6-pack. And that's my fucking Friday. Wake up, but I don't wanna get up. I don't wanna get up. I don't wanna get up. Laying in my rut. Sport one to make it through the day. Make it through the day. I gotta make it through the day. But my girl call me now, I got hell to pay. I ain't tryna hear you while I meet my cereal. Ain't tryna hear it. While I meet my cereal. Shut the fuck up. I don't wanna be near you. D Captain Crunch, man, they know my feelings. Know my feelings. They live with them. They really know my feelings. Barely 8:30 and I'm thinking about killing. Thinking about calling my job like fuck it, I quit. Hey, fuck it, I'm out. Fully equipped with F-bombs and shit. Sucking mad down down like the pup of a pit. Sick of the scripts and politics. Most of all, I'm sick of rocking this fake smile. Sick of being fake polite. Don't really give a fuck. Like, Karen, how's your fucking day now? Well, I'ma tell you how my day going. The other day, my dog Demi had illuminated smile. That piled onto my dark cloak. Wanna know who look at this child. 10 hours a day, I don a mask and put on a fucking show. And when the act in, my life began. But don't know who I am no more, with my seat back, cool, and I'm just trying to kick my feet back. And all that talking, you can keep that. I make my girl hit the road for giving feedback. And my mama say I'm too rad. But I act too much like my real dad. And still ain't tryna get that girl back. I just wanna lay around and zip some zigzags. And that's my fucking Friday.
I'm disgusted by my level of conformity. By the shit I legit just pretend to be. Trying to get back to the me that was formerly, and not the me in the scene that performing me. I swear the man in the mirror, he be hunting me. He be looking at my eyes so dauntingly. In him's everything I don't wanna be. He look at me and he see what he gonna be. I just wanna smoke one with the reaper. He come to me and he said you a keeper. I still bring sounds like an onomatopoeia, but I feel like my times like I'm riding with the people. And I've been riding with my seed bag. I'm trying to relax so I relapse. Yeah, I got a mind but I don't need that, cause I don't even think when I speak back.
It's so strange that when I'm alone, I think of no one but you. Ooh, true. I've been riding with my seat back, cool, and I'm just trying to kick my feet back. Oh, and all that talking, you can keep that. I make my girl hit the road for giving feedback. My sweatpants is looking too bad, and I got holes in my do-rag. I still ain't